Hi friends, how's it going? I'm so happy to be back with you again today. Today we're working on Writer Wednesday, write a spring story of your own. And I wanted to remind you of the 4 seasons, right? We have winter, spring, summer, and fall, and it just goes in a circle over and over every year. So we just finished winter, we're now into spring, and we're working towards summer. So we're in spring, the flowers are blooming, they're coming up, the birds are singing, they're having their babies, everything is reborn, right? And starting over again after it went to sleep or it died over the winter. It's starting over again. So that's where we're at. So today I have a story for you about spring and about a surprise garden, because I know a lot of you right now are starting your gardens and start planting. So we're going to read about a garden, and maybe that will help you with your spring story later. This story is called The Surprise Garden. The Surprise Garden. We're planting the seeds for a surprise garden. Can you guess what will grow? We don't know. It's a surprise. First, we use our trowel and rake and loosen the soil. Looks like fun playing in the dirt. Mom has given us each a handful of all kinds of seeds. Look at all the different shapes and sizes. Yeah, look at all those. And then they have the markers that they're going to put in the ground to label what seeds they're planting. We poke the seeds in the soil one by one. We have painted sticks different colors to mark the different kinds of seeds. That way they know when it's growing, right? Then we water the seeds and wait for our surprise garden to grow. Soon the seeds sprout into small green shoots. The first part that comes out is called a shoot. We water the plants and the sun warms them. Our garden grows and grows. On some plants, flowers bloom. So some of the plants, little flowers are coming out, but some of the plants, they're not. Just depends on the flower, or plant, depends on the plant, right? Before long, the petals fall off. Surprise! We see peas, beans, and squash. So on some of the plants that have flowers, where the flower was is where the fruit or vegetable is going to grow. On some plants, leaves grow close to the ground. Surprise! We see spinach and lettuce. So spinach and lettuce don't have the flowers that turn into the plant, into the fruit or the vegetable. They just have leaves. And what is growing here? Surprise! We see broccoli and cauliflower. Oh, cauliflower is some of my favorite. I like broccoli too, though. Is anything growing here? Surprise! We find carrots and radishes. They're growing under the ground. Yeah, you have to pull them up to see that. Here is the largest plant in our garden. Flowers bloomed on this plant too. Surprise! We find a big watermelon. That is a big watermelon. Here is the tallest plant in our garden. Surprise! It's a sunflower, and it is full of tasty seeds. All summer long, the food in our surprise garden ripens. We like to pick the food. Looks like they're having a lot of fun. And eat it too. Surprise, we're having a garden party. And then it tells you all the seeds and what they grow. So in their garden, they grew peas and beans, spinach, lettuce, broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, radishes, squash, watermelon, and sunflowers. All right, so we plant we plant our garden in spring, and then it works and it grows, and we take care of it all the way through summer so we can enjoy all the fruits and vegetables that come from it. So let's see if we can use some of that to help us in our story. Do you think the spring story might have some flowers or garden in it? Let's go take a look. All right, here we go. Today we're going to write a spring story. It says, My Spring Story. It says, use the words below, these words, to write a story about spring. 2 to 3 sentences, please. So first at the top, I'm going to write my name. And I'm trying to write it on the line as best I can. Just like I learned in school, right? When we do our work, we want to always do our best. So Mrs. Klimke, my spring story. So the words that they have given us to write a spring story are flower, butterfly, rainbow, rain, and umbrella. So you can write about spring, or you can write about a story about, you can make up a story about somebody in spring. This is yours. You get to do it. So you can write about rainbows, you can write about flowers. You don't have to use all the words. Those are just some words that might help you with your story. So I can't wait to see your story. I think I would start my story as in spring, right? So capital I, in finger space, spring. In spring, I see, and then maybe I'll put one of the words that I see. I see flowers. Oh, you have to add an S. I see butterflies. I see rainbows. I see rain. I see umbrellas. And then put a period, right? What do you see? And then maybe you could say, I like, and you could write that word. So in spring, I see flowers. I like flowers because blank. And you tell me why you like flowers, right? Don't forget a period at the end. Or you can write a story. There once was a little girl who lived on a rainbow, and she had lots of friends that were butterflies. So you get to make up a story or write about spring, and then of course you're going to draw a picture to match. So I can't wait to read some of your stories and tell me about spring.